There is an epidemic going on in the golf cart world today, and it's called champagne taste on a beer budget. Welcome to Golf Cart Q&A, where I take frequently asked questions on the golf cart industry, and I do the best of my ability to answer these questions to help those out there in the golf cart world. My name is Sloan Whitaker, and I have been selling golf carts for a living now for 10 years. And I'm trying to use the experience and knowledge I have gained and learned over the last 10 years to help you navigate through this ever-changing, wild golf cart world we now live in. So without further ado, let's get into the question and then my answers. I have an email here from John from Texas. I'm not gonna give a last name to keep this private, but John from Texas emailed me and said, Sloan, I watched one of your videos and felt comfortable asking you for some advice. The family and I want to buy a golf cart, but I feel overwhelmed with the amount of options there are now. Any advice to point me in the right direction would be greatly appreciated. I've been getting this question a lot between phone calls, emails, texts, and whatnot. I've been hearing this a ton because the industry is in a different place than it was 10 years ago. So I prepped some answers for this. And also stay tuned to the later part of this video because I have some opinions and advice on trade-ins versus private resale. So if you want to hear that, stick around for the video. I'm going to touch upon that later. So my first piece of advice for buying a golf cart today is mow options and mow education. 10 years ago, you had 5 options for golf carts to buy, brand new. Now you have 30. And I don't care, and I'm not getting into the controversy behind all that. But there's now, 25, 30 OEMs you can buy golf carts of today. And what that means for you as a consumer buying a golf cart is that you just need to be more learned. You just need to be more studied on what options are available to you. Just because there's that many brands now doesn't mean there's something wrong. It just means there's that many more types of styles and differences in the industry suited to different types of customers. Don't get me wrong, every OEM, every model has its pros and cons, which is why I cannot recommend you enough is to just get your education on these carts that are available for you now. And what I mean by that is either going to the dealership, being boots on the ground, or internet, if you're an internet research person, do that, or do both. There's so many options that you can now almost tailor exactly what you want for a golf cart. Some brands are more expensive that have a better ride, that have better tires, that have better fit and finish, that have better part support, that have better warranties. Some brands are less expensive that don't ride as nice, that have some creaks and noises in them, that have some uncomfortable seats. Some of them have better sound systems. Some of them have better touchscreens. Some of them have no touchscreens. Some of them have no sound systems at all. There are so many dang options today that you need to learn and be aware of what's out there to make sure you know what you want. That way you can make the best decision and buy the golf cart that's best for you.
This video is sponsored by shopbaparts.com. We've been in the industry for over a decade now, building carts, fixing problems, and seeing firsthand what actually works and what fails in the golf cart industry. So when we design a product, it's not just guesswork, it's built from real-world experience. Every product is designed, made, and shipped right here in Van Wert, Ohio. CartRacks, TrailSteps, hitches, plug-and-play sound systems. No surprises, no cutting corners, just products that install easily and do exactly what they're supposed to do. If you're serious about upgrading your cart the right way, visit shopbaparts.com. Again, that's shopbaparts.com.
My second answer, Facebook groups. I see this all the time now. People saying they were gonna buy this brand of golf cart, but then they saw all these posts in this Facebook group about their golf cart, the golf cart brand, and how it has this problem, and now this person's hesitating to buy the cart. Well, first off, if there's anywhere that anybody's gonna go to express their problems, it's gonna be the forum. So you're gonna naturally have way more people complaining about the cart than there is positive posts about the cart. That's just natural. I don't care what brand it is. This has nothing to do with this being a cheap, crappy brand or a OG, reliable brand. This is just Facebook in general. You can't just go to a forum and expect to see everything be positive, because that's not the point of a forum. That's not the point of a group on Facebook. People are posting their problems in there because that's why they're in the group, because they're trying to look for help. And when you have just a lot of people in a group, you're gonna see a lot of posts about people having issues and whatnot, trying to look for help. And that doesn't mean this cart is a natural disaster. Not always, sometimes, but not always. I think the Facebook groups are still great for you to see, one, for things to look out for, meaning, let's say it's a brand that doesn't do a good job of like quality control. So the dealer is responsible for doing a lot of QC, quality control, before the customer gets the golf cart. Look at what people say in the forums and the groups on Facebook, and look out for those things when you're buying that golf cart, when you're taking delivery of that golf cart. Do your due diligence and figure out, oh, I see this, people have regularly posted that this one thing's wrong with this cart when they deliver it, whatnot. I'm not saying just to use the comments and post in the forums as a tool to reprimand your dealer, because that's definitely not what I'm saying. I'm saying use them as a tool to figure out what needs fixed, what piece of advice you could use, because the people in the forums are normal, everyday people that bought a golf cart just like you watching this video, and I think they're awesome to help you out. So my third piece of advice is to shape your expectations around your budget. There is an epidemic going on in the golf cart world today, and it's called champagne taste on a beer budget. So first off, bear with me. If you are car shopping and you go to the Mercedes dealership and you drive the nice S-Class Mercedes, and it's super smooth and quiet and elegant and comfortable, and then you go to the Kia dealership and you drive the Kia. I don't have anything against Kia, but I'm just saying, you drive that and you go, huh, it's not as quiet, it's not as smooth, it's not as, elegant and luxurious and all that. Would you expect the Kia to be the same price as the Mercedes? Obviously not. There's zero difference when it comes to golf carts. I feel like we're in a weird place in the golf cart industry that sometimes like price to the consumer is almost like over their head in a way. And I feel like you need to really think about shaping your expectations based on what you're buying. So again, to just be blunt about it, if you see the one cart available that's for sale for 18 grand, and then you see the other cart available that's 10 grand, you should assume that there's gonna be some things that aren't as good about the cart that's $8,000 less. It might not ride as good. It might not have as comfortable as cushions. It might not have as good of a sound system. It might not have good of a warranty. It might not have good of tires. It might not have good in fit and finish. The list goes on and on. And again, it's just like the automobile world. You get what you pay for. You need to decide what is non-negotiables for you. Let's say you just want the most luxurious ride possible with the best seats and the best suspension. Well, that's not gonna be the cheapest golf cart that you can buy brand new. I promise you that. Let's say it's just not that important to you in general about the golf cart's performance and the seats and the speed and the suspension and all that. You just want a golf cart for the family, and you wanna get one is the best price possible that's brand new. Then we have our expectations set, and you should know that there might be a couple things with it that might not be as good as the other brands. But again, to bring this all in, for me, having personal experiences with customers, you just really need to understand on what you should expect when you're buying a cart. If you want the cart that has the best experience, so the best seats, the best suspension, the best range, the best what have you, you shouldn't expect to have that with buying the cheapest golf cart you can find. And last but not least, before I get into my little bonus piece of advice, if the golf cart ain't prepped, it ain't for you. I have a long form video here on YouTube about this, which I would strongly advise you go check that out. Golf carts don't arrive to dealers being 100% customer ready. Whether it be squeaking on the roof or squeaking somewhere, or alignment, or the speed being adjusted correctly, or things just being addressed that aren't right with a golf cart before it goes to the customer, AKA you. I would so strongly recommend that if the cart's not test driven by the dealer, if it's not gone through by the dealer, if it's not made sure that it is ready for you to own the golf cart where you are happy with no surprises right away, then don't buy the dang thing. You should not be buying a golf cart from a dealer that has a bunch of issues straight out of the gate, because the dealer should have already addressed those before they gave it to you. I'm not saying this applies to things that's out of their control. So whether it be something that happens after your golf cart has 10, 20, 50, 100, 500,000 miles on it, I'm not saying those things. I'm saying when you get the golf cart and it has an issue with it the moment you start driving it, that's not acceptable. You need to make sure when you're buying a brand new golf cart that the thing's ready for you. It's been through a pre-delivery inspection process by the dealer. It's been test driven. It's been gone through. It's made sure by your dealer with a keen eye on detail that the thing's ready for you to own and you're gonna have a good time owning it. And finally, my very controversial subject in this video, I gotta put my dealership hat on here, is trade-in value versus private resale value if you already own a golf cart and you're trying to upgrade your golf cart. So apologies if I get heated here, because I'm just trying to do my best on helping and educate the average golf cart owner today, which you could just say, screw you, Sloan, and screw golf cart dealers. I'm just trying to get obviously the best deal out of my golf cart, which reasonably so. You should get the best deal you can on a golf cart. I'm not saying you shouldn't. But I feel like right now we're in a very weird place in the golf cart industry where the average golf cart owner that bought a golf cart in the last few years has an unreasonable expectation on what they think it's worth. So let me be very clear about this right away. If you bought the premium brand, the nice OG brand, the more expensive brand, you shouldn't expect such a dramatic drop in the resale value or trade-in value if it's well kept and not too old. But if you chose to buy the lesser expensive model when you bought the cart brand new, you should not expect it to hold its resale value nearly as strong as a premium brand, because for the sheer fact that you bought the cheapest budget model. So let me explain. So if you saw your options on what golf carts were available to buy, and you saw the one brand was 15 grand, but you could buy this brand for 8 grand. So you bought the $8,000 one, and you decided a year later that you needed to trade it in, upgrade to a better golf cart, whatever, what have you. Here's where you gotta put yourself into perspective of a dealer if you're trying to buy another golf cart through a dealer. That golf cart's brand new for $8,000. For the dealer to trade it in and then to resell it as a pre-owned golf cart, it has to be exceptionally cheaper than the brand new golf cart, because the average customer walking in the door that wants to buy a golf cart and wants all the perks of buying a brand new golf cart, like an awesome warranty and just the fact that it's brand new, it has to be at a price that makes sense for the customer to think, maybe I'll buy this golf cart instead of the brand new one because of this price. If you bought the $8,000 brand new golf cart and you think your trade-in or your resale value is 6 or 5, well then you're living in a different world, because why would the average customer walk into a dealership or just look on the internet in general and think, I could spend 6 on this pre-owned golf cart versus I could buy this brand new golf cart for 8 grand and it has all these warranties and perks. I know there's a lot of caveats here between what brand and whatnot you have. I just think if you are buying a cart today, you are choosing to buy the lesser expensive brands. You just need to be understanding and cognizant of what you're buying when you buy it. So to bring this all to a close, educate yourself more on what options are out there. Use the Facebook groups as a tool, not a decision maker on totally what not to buy and what to buy. They're just a great tool. Don't expect a phenomenal premium experience in your golf cart if you're not buying the best. And make sure you're buying a golf cart that is prepped and ready for you to own from a dealer, instead of a golf cart that's not ready for you and you buy it, and next thing you know, you have multiple issues because your dealer didn't make sure it was ready for you. But I'm done ranting. So if you guys are still listening, thank you. Seriously, I'm just trying to do my best to help the golf cart world out there make good decisions on what's best for you and your family. If you want to see more content, advice, just golf cart related content in general, please hit the subscribe button. I would be flattered. If you have any questions on anything golf cart related, just shoot them in the comments below. We at BA Carts here are happy to respond to you guys and take care of you. We appreciate you guys for watching. So again, hit that subscribe button, and thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.